And right at 6 a.m. and just on time, you can see the polls are officially open. There we go. This is in Lawrence, where our Sia Diorca will have a live report for us in just a bit. But all across central Indiana, those polls are up and ready for those voters that are very serious about getting in right at 6.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. 6 o'clock on your election day. And unfortunately, coming with election day is a weather aware day. So we hope maybe we know how many people got out and voted early. That would have been a good day for it. So we do want you to be really aware as you're heading out there, especially if you still have to vote.
Definitely will impact those people standing in line. They had the right idea to get in there early before a lot of the wind and rain picks up today.
Yeah, you know, we've already had rain in parts of the area. The winds have been gusty all night. We're talking about 28, 30 mile per hour winds now, but later today, the reason we have a weather impact day is because our gusts could be in parts of the area 40 to 50 miles per hour. Not much rain left. If you've been with us since 4 a.m., we had several counties with rain. Right now, this is near North Salem. This would be the second rain of the morning near Danville, but again, we're talking mainly sprinkles there. Westfield up to Arcadia. Atlanta, you've got a heavy cell over you right now, and then there's some rain in Illinois that will arrive here later today. How about some wind updates? Gusts now at Muncie's Delaware County Airport and at the IU Airport near Bloomington, 29 miles per hour. Also at Holman Field in Terre Haute, our winds here have been gusting from 20 to 30 miles per hour. Later on today, a wind advisory that goes into effect at 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. gusts to 45 miles per hour just to the northwest of Indianapolis. However, I got to tell you, I think it could happen right here in downtown Indy. With sunrise at 7:19 this morning, we'll see those temperatures slowly go up, 71 by 11 a.m. And if you're headed to the airport on time, might be a little rough getting off the ground, but only one delay today, and that's to Raleigh-Durham. Later on today, we're in the upper 70s for a high. As the polls close at 6 p.m., remember it'll be dark, and we'll also have some rain at that time at 68. So much more to come on this very windy and perhaps wet day later. We'll hit some potential rain amounts, but right now, let's take a look at traffic. Good morning, Lindsay.
Well, good morning to you. Looks pretty good on our interstates this morning, but we do have a new closure I do want you to be prepared for. This is on the southeast side of town. It's actually Southeastern Avenue, the ramp to 465 northbound. You can see these barricades that are now set up, and this would be that ramp that would merge onto 465 north. That's going to be closed as we go through the next couple of weeks here as they're doing some construction work on that stretch of interstate. So be prepared for that new closure. It closed down last night. We're going to have a secondary closure starting later this evening. That will be from 465 northbound. It's that ramp to Shadeland Avenue that runs through November 18th. Again, we are smooth sailing, no major issues out there. Be prepared for some wet pavement in spots as some rain's moving through. Otherwise, no delays on the east side, 465 northbound and southbound. Smooth sailing.
Thank you, Lindsay. Let's get to it. Decision 2024 this morning, with months and years of campaigning coming down to this morning. Hey, Lindsay, it's okay. We'll get back to you in just a bit. That's all right. But just a few minutes ago, we did see those polling sites open their doors here in central Indiana.
They sure did, right on time. So from the White House to the governor's mansion, we're covering all of those races. Over the past few months and weeks, even days, the gaps between some of the candidates have closed, and now it is a fight for every vote.
Let's get out to Sia New Yorker, who's joining us from that polling site in Lawrence that just opened. What are you seeing out there? Still got a nice line?
Yes, good morning, ladies. There is a nice line. About 6 people were lined up here in the dark. In fact, the doors just opened. You heard it live here on our air where they announced the polls are officially opened. And just a little bit ago, we heard a ring of the bell because first-time voter here. Very exciting. Many of the folks I talked with said that they wanted to get in line early because they have to go to work today. So they felt like they needed to come out and stand in line to get the vote and do their civic duty. And they said they didn't mind doing so because it's so mild outside. No snow, nice breeze, and things are open and official and moving here. And so we're going to be in here inside the community center here in Lawrence, where about 6 voters are already lined up to cast their ballots for this 2024 election. Ladies.
And with them getting there that early, good on them for not being in those long lines. Sia, thank you.
And we, of course, have you covered right here all election day.
We will be live throughout the day and the evening with crews at polling locations, party headquarters, plus here in studio breaking down all the latest voting numbers as they come in. So WTHR.com/elections is your hub to find those results as they start coming in.
So again, polls are officially open right now in Indiana and they close at 6 p.m. We'll also have coverage on WTHR Plus, available on Amazon Fire TV and Roku. That is free and you can download it right now. And now to the new developments in the Delphi murders trial.
Yeah, the mental health of Richard Allen, the man accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German, is now the focus. So yesterday, the court heard testimony on Allen's mental state, along with testimony from his own family. Dr. Polly Westcott is a neuropsychologist. She met with Allen in person for examination. She determined that Allen suffered from major depressive disorder and psychosis when he confessed to killing the girls. She also determined that he wasn't faking or exaggerating his mental health.
The jury also saw disturbing videos of Allen while incarcerated that allude to his mental state. The state claiming the videos were used to get sympathy from the jury. Allen's sister and daughter both testified in court after Allen allegedly admitted to molesting them. When asked if those were true, they both replied no.
The court also heard from one witness, a final witness on Monday, Brad Weber, who lives next to the crime scene. Allen's attorneys got him to admit in court that he told police conflicting stories. And those stories center on whether or not he drove straight home after work on February 13th, 2017. That's an important piece because that would put his white van near the crime scene. And that would match one of Allen's confessions in prison that a van scared him at the crime scene that day.
Well, 6:06 in this morning, we're looking for new details after a fatal early morning shooting. This happened yesterday near West 30th in MLK. Metro Police tell us officers found the man in critical condition. However, he died in the hospital several hours later. We have asked Metro Police if they have any leads or any possible suspects in the case. We'll, of course, share that with you as new information becomes available. And this morning, we're also trying to see if charges have been filed against two people arrested in connection to a deadly shooting that happened last Friday near 34th and Sherman. Police say they got a call about two people in two cars shooting at one another when they found the men shot. One of them died at the scene. No word yet on what led to that shooting. And we do have an update this morning in a case against two IMPD officers charged in the death of an Indianapolis man that is now, we've learned, going to trial.
Herman Whitfield III died in police custody 2.5 years ago. This morning, Matthew Foltz is following this story with reaction from his family and what's next in this case. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning to you both. The Whitfield family and attorneys had to wait an hour outside of that courtroom until the judge made that decision. They tell our crews that they're happy and pleased that the decision was made and they hope justice is now served moving forward. Now, 13 News had cameras rolling as the two IMPD officers, Steven Sanchez and Adam Ahmad, walked into the courtroom. The two IMPD officers faced charges of involuntary manslaughter, reckless homicide, and battery. IMPD body camera video shows the officers tased Whitfield twice before holding him down in handcuffs against the floor of his home back in April of 2022. His parents had called for help and mental health assistance. They now want the officers held accountable.
I hope justice prevails in this situation because, first of all, these officers are citizens before they're officers, so they should be held accountable by the laws and standards of this nation, just as we do, just as a citizen.
The attorneys for the officers tell 13 News that the judge has ruled out criminal use of the taser in the trial. They will only be tried for restraining Whitfield on the floor. And again, the case will now head to a jury trial that's set for December 2nd. Of course, we will be there and have you covered with updates on 13 News and WTHR.com. Ladies.
All right, Matthew, thank you for that update.
Your time right now is 6:10. This morning, DPW crews are preserving grave sites and human remains found at the site of the Henry Street Bridge project. The city says that crews were excavating and preparing to relocate utilities when they made that discovery late last month. Archaeologists say that there were 15 grave shafts about 3 to 4 feet deep found just east of the White River. Once all the human remains are exposed and photographed, they'll be exhumed and sent to a lab at Indiana University's Indianapolis campus for analysis there. Well, the City-County Council is taking the next step toward a massive redevelopment project. This is in downtown Indianapolis. The proposal paves the way for a new 13-story hotel and music venue across from Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's part of an effort to create a special financing district in that area. So this hotel will replace the former CSX building, and it's being led by the Pacers and Fever owner Herb Simon. Demolition is planned for later this year.
Well, many local shops are very happy after the weekend that was packed with teens and tens of thousands of Taylor Swift fans.
Miss Swift herself was quite happy after her 3-night show here in Indianapolis. Check this out. She posted on Instagram that she had the time of her life with 207,000 beautiful people in Indianapolis.
She also wrote that she couldn't have asked for a more magical way to end the U.S. shows on the Eras Tour. Well, this morning we're hearing from the Colts head coach after a tough loss in prime time against the Vikings. Shane Steichen's comments coming up after the future of the quarterback Joe Flacco is being questioned at 6:45.